In this video, we're going to be covering 5 ways to train the obliques for boxing. Hello everybody, welcome to Boxing Science. In this video, we're going to be covering the 5 key training methods that we use at Boxing Science to help develop the strength and power of the oblique muscles. Now, the oblique muscles are just sitting at the side of the core, and this is really vital for boxing performance as it contributes to rotation of the trunk whilst also controlling side bending actions. Rotation of the trunk is vital for single and combination punches to be able to create rotational power into that single punch, but also to control and then re-explode into combination punching. It's also vital to control side bending. You think about the different moves, defensive moves in boxing, whether that's a slip, a roll, a duck. Controlling side bending is really important, especially when you're throwing a punch, going towards that maximum range. You want to try and improve rotation whilst limiting this side bending action. A lot of this side bending action can hinder the power that's transferred through the kinetic chain, but can also start increasing the amount of loading going through the lower back muscle called the quadratus lumborum, QL for short. And basically this excessive side bending increases the amount of loading going through this QL muscle, which can lead to lower back injuries. So quite often at Boxing Science, we do our testing methods, which include overhead squat, single leg squat, and our rotational core strength test. Across these tests, we see a lot of fighters that have not done much structured strength and conditioning before actually being quite underdeveloped in their oblique strength and oblique muscles. And the reason why for this is in traditional boxing training and boxing strength training, to develop the core is often done through flexion and extension exercises such as crunches, sit-up variations, and also plank variations. And whenever they look to try and target rotation or target the obliques, there's often like a lot of side bending involved, or there's a lot of trunk activation, doing like some sit-up variations with a twist or doing some Russian twists, for example. There's still a lot of abdominal activation that take most of the load during that kind of exercise. So we need to look to isolate and overload the oblique muscles in a range of different ways. In this video, we're going to be sharing 5 key methods that build up the foundations to improving oblique strength and stability, creating them strong foundations to then improve rotational strength and rotational power. Before we get into these 5 key methods, I'd like to ask you a quick favor. If you're not a subscriber to our Boxing Science YouTube channel yet, hit that subscribe button so you support the growth of the channel and you don't miss out on any future content. At the moment, there's 67% of people that watch this channel actually don't subscribe. Only 33% actually subscribe. So if you're part of the 67% that watch this channel and not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content and you support the growth of the channel. Let's get on with the 5 key methods to help improve oblique strength for boxing. So the first step is to start including some body weight exercises. So this is exercises such as side plank, rotational plank. The only problem with doing side planks is that boxers end up not being really strong through internal external rotation. So they end up getting some sort of shoulder pain or fatigue being in this position. So doing a rotational plank is a fantastic way to start improving core strength and stability through the obliques. But really doing some isometric body weight work, doing pull-off press variations. You can do this up against the wall, or you can be doing this with a manual resistance as well. Start building up some strength, doing body weight exercises to help build them foundations for your oblique strength and stability. You're looking at them isometric holds to be between 5 and 10 second holds to start off with before you start moving on to more higher force demands. But yeah, we're starting off with some isometric body weight work, doing some side planks and also doing some rotational planks as well. Tip number 2 is to use pull-off press variations, but holding that stability first. So we're wanting to challenge anti-rotation through exercise with no or very little movement. Exercises such as like the banded pull-off press, cable pull-off press, even like the isometric pull-off press variations just mentioned in the bodyweight section as well. This is really important to help build them foundations, to really target the obliques, to create that stability before you're targeting that strength through an increased range of motion. So like I said, the best way to do this is probably doing some band variations. And this doesn't mean that you just need to stand there with just a single banded pull-off press. Different variations of this that you can do. You can do banded perturbations, either with a weight disc or do it with the coach, varying that resistance. You can also do some banded pull-off walks. And also you can do some standing variations, doing it with a broomstick and really having to switch on the obliques through a stable position. So creating that stability through an isometric action. Tip number 3 is to improve rotational strength through an increased range of motion. This is where we start using cable rotations, landmine rotation variations as well. And we're looking to try and really control that eccentric action. Controlling the eccentric action is really vital for increasing that stretch shortening cycle of the oblique muscles. Basically, we're looking to try and load and then re-explode. So imagine you throwing a common combination, a backhand and a lead hook. If our obliques aren't being able to control that eccentric in this position, we're unable to recoil going back into that lead hook position. So we're needing to try and develop the eccentric strength of the rotational action first to really help increase rotational strength and the strength of the oblique muscles. Tip number 4 is to use loaded carry variations. This is using the single arm farmer walks. Different variations that you can do, but the main variations that we use are the single arm farmer walks, challenging grip strength at the same time and really overloading the oblique muscles. We can try and go as heavy as we can on the loaded farmer walks, so going for between 20 and 30 seconds on each side. We can use marching variations as well, which will challenge hip stability, getting the obliques to contribute towards that hip stability as well. Overload the obliques with banded variations. So if grip strength is a limiting factor to the amount of load that you're lifting during the kettlebell farmer walks, we can use bands. The bands will affect the movement of the kettlebell, and the obliques have to constantly switch on and off to be able to create that stability there. And this will increase muscle activation of the obliques during some single arm farmer walks. You can also look to do some just basic standing variations of a single arm farmer hold, holding the kettlebell in position, holding it for around about 10 seconds, and we can really start overloading the obliques here. This video of Fabio Wardley is using a 52 kilo kettlebell, probably unlikely to be able to walk with this, but just doing it in a standing position is really looking to switch on the obliques in this position. You can look to try and target the obliques with an offset loading. So you can be doing some offset reverse lunges. You can be doing some straight arm, straight leg sit-ups with a kettlebell just in a single arm. Microdosing, hitting the obliques as often as we can throughout your strength and conditioning program. But mainly in this tip, we're just looking at single arm farmer walks, using these different variations, going for a very basic approach first with 20 to 30 second holds on the walk, doing some marches, doing some banded variations, then also looking to really overload the amount of load that you're lifting by just standing, holding a kettlebell for around about 10 seconds on each side. Tip number 5, and this is the main goal now, is to improve rotational power by using a range of different med ball exercises. And in these med ball exercises, we're looking to overload the eccentric, catching the ball, recoiling, and then reproducing this power. This is really vital because a lot of videos that I see across social media, across YouTube as well, boxers just starting from a static position, throwing it, not really challenging that rotational power aspect and what really transfers towards the sport. You need to learn how to load up and re-explode into a rotational throw. With these rotational power exercises, it's really important to either start from the opposite side, work over, and then go into that rotational throw. But it's really vital if you're doing your strength and conditioning coaching or boxing coaching, throw it in as hard as you can into the athlete to be able to create that stability, to get that recoil and throw it in. And these are a range of different variations that we use at Boxing Science. Okay guys, so that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, giving you 5 tips on how to develop the obliques for boxing. If you are wanting to ask any questions around this, leave them in the comment box below. And if you're wanting to go and check out our programs, they're available on the Boxing Science website. You can get 50% off your first purchase by using this discount code here. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. And hopefully see you on the next video at Boxing Science.